Hey there everyone, welcome back to Measuremix. Thanks for stopping by today. I said I wasn't going to have a video this week because my son was starting back to school and it was kind of hectic and crazy, but he went back to school today and I decided that I didn't want to clean or do anything else and I just kind of wanted to take my mind off of it. So I came out my garage to see what kind of scrap wood I had to work with, and of course I have a bunch. So I decided to try to make one of those vintage looking trucks out of some of the wood that I have. So you can follow along with me today to find out and see how it turns out. Now if you're new to my channel and you like home decor and DIYs, make sure to stick around by hitting the subscribe button and don't forget to ring that bell so you don't miss out on any new videos. Now let's get started. To start off with, I'm going to be using this 1 inch thick by 4 inch wide piece of scrap wood that I found. And I'm just going to measure out 12 inches on it. And then I'm just going to take it to my saw and cut it down. And then once I have it cut down, I am going to take a piece of 2x4 that I found. And I'm just going to cut that piece to 6 inches. And once I have that piece cut, I'm just going to place that on top of my 1x4 board. And then I'm going to take the leftover 2x4 and I'm going to mark 3 inches on that. And I'm going to cut that down. Then I'm going to take that 3-inch piece and place that on top of my other 2x4. And essentially I have the body of my truck. So all I'm going to do is just take some wood glue and I'm going to apply that to the bottom of the larger 2x4 and place that on top of the 1x4 and make sure that it is flush with the 1x4 on all edges. And then I use my nail gun to just nail it down. And then I'm going to take the other piece of 2x4 and glue that down on top of the other 2x4 on the opposite end, making sure that it's flush. So that will be like my windshield and my window, and then the other 2x4 will be like the hood. And then I'm going to take my sander and I'm just going to give this a really good sanding. I'm going to try to round the edges of the front of the truck so that way it's not such sharp corners. And then I'm going to try to round the top of the truck as well. Next, I took some popsicle sticks and I cut the rounded ends off of 4 pieces. And then I took a few more popsicle sticks and I cut 4 more shorter pieces. And then I took 2 of the longer pieces and 2 of the shorter pieces. And I took some wood glue and I just glued the 2 shorter pieces vertical to the 2 longer pieces. And then I did the same thing for the other one, so I had 2 little fences. Then I took the leftover piece of 1x4 that I had cut before, and I just took some electrical tape that I had found because it was a great size circle for wheels, and I traced that out onto the board, and then I just used my jigsaw to cut those circles out. Now the circles were not perfect, so I then took my sander and I sanded them down. I started using the sander at the beginning and then I just switched to placing a piece of sandpaper on the table and then just rubbing the wheels over that to round them out. And like I said, they weren't perfect, but they had a round shape, so they worked out fine. I could have spent probably a longer time doing this, but I think they turned out pretty good. And then all I did was I took those wheels and I applied a little bit of wood glue to the top of each wheel, and I glued them down to what I guess would be the truck bed, and then I used my nail gun and put a nail in them as well. Next, I took a little bit of the Waverly brand chalk paint in the color Agave, and I mixed it with a little bit of like a taupe gray color that I had just to kind of lighten it up and make it not so bright. And I painted the whole truck body with this color. While the truck was drying, I went ahead and took those 2 fence pieces that I made and I applied some briar smoke stain onto both of them. Now I'm going to take some gray paint and some white paint and mix it together to give me a more lighter gray. And then I just took some regular white paint and I started to apply that to the top 2x4 on the front of it to make this look like a windshield. And then once that was painted with the white, I just added some gray into it to make it look a little more like maybe the sun was hitting it and there was a little more dimension. And then I did the same thing to the back part of the 2x4 for the back window of the truck. And then on both sides of that 2x4, I painted 2 little windows. Now I'm just going to take some black paint and I'm going to paint the wheels of the truck. I should have done this before I applied the wheels, but I was just too anxious to get them on and see how they looked. After they were all painted, I took 4 silver thumbtacks and I placed those in the middle of each of the wheels to give them a little more dimension. And then I did come back with that blue paint and touch up the truck where I had got some of the black paint. Next, I went ahead and took some silver metallic paint that I had and I just painted the bottom of that 1x4 on the front of the truck to make it look more like a bumper. And then for the back of the truck, I cut down another popsicle stick and painted that with the silver metallic paint as well. And then I just put a little wood glue and glued it about halfway down. And then I took some of these gold thumbtacks that I had and I just painted them with some red paint and let them dry and then applied them to the back so they looked like brake lights. Next, I wanted to make a grill for the front of my truck. So I had this grid style chicken wire lying around from another project and I just cut a little piece off of it. And then I just took it and I bent it in just a little bit so that way it had a little bit of a curve and it stuck out so it was 3-dimensional. And then I just took some hot glue and I applied it to both ends of the grill and then I just placed that on to the front of the truck on that 2x4. Then I took 2 more of those gold thumbtacks and I applied them to the right and the left side at the top of that 2x4 to make it look like headlights. Lastly, all I needed to do was apply those fences to the back of the truck, which I forgot to stain the back of, so I went ahead and did that real quick. And then I just placed some hot glue on the bottom of the vertical pieces and applied that to the back of the truck on the 1x4s. And I love how this turned out and I can use it for all different seasons. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I absolutely love how this truck came out. I know it's not perfect, but I love it and I created it out of just scrap material in a few hours on a whim, so I think it turned out perfect. So I hope this video sparked some creativity and inspiration for you guys. Make sure to give it a thumbs up and I will see you guys in the next one. Take care, bye-bye.